Modern marketing relies on an uninterrupted, invisible flow of behavioral data silently running beneath almost every campaign on the internet. That data relies heavily on the tracking pixel. It is a tiny, invisible one-by-one image embedded into the code of an email. The moment you open the message, that invisible image loads and fires a signal back to the sender. That single microscopic image serves as the foundation for almost everything email marketers do. It feeds the open rate dashboards, it populates lead scoring models, and it trips the automated behavioral triggers that dictate what message you receive next. The entire infrastructure we use to measure human engagement is built on that hidden signal, and that specific mechanism is about to be outlawed. The European Union is cracking down on passive tracking, and the epicenters of this shift are regulators in France and Italy. French and Italian authorities have established a strict interpretation of the e-privacy directive. Legally, saggling a hidden pixel constitutes unauthorized access to a user's personal device. It is reading information directly from a recipient's phone or computer without asking. The clock is already running. Organizations have exactly until July 14, 2026 to inform their existing contacts about these pixels and provide a clear, explicit way to object to them. Filing this under legal compliance ignores the operational reality. Your automation triggers and lead scores were built on a signal that now requires permission to exist. A core input of the modern measurement stack now requires explicit permission. Assuming passive consent from your readers is no longer a legally viable option. Managing a sprawling global subscriber list means the true physical locations of your readers are largely unknown. Email platforms cannot reliably tell you where a recipient actually sits when they open an app. Standard segmentation data is flawed. Relying on an automated CRM checking a company's domain, matching time zones, or scanning language metadata provides dangerously weak signals. If you guess incorrectly, you are exposed. The regulatory radius extends further than image pixels. It explicitly outlaws individualized redirect links used for click tracking. Routing a click through a unique link reads information from the device and ties it to an identifiable person, the exact same legal act as a hidden image firing. This leaves you with a stark operational choice. You can either build your tracking to the strictest EU standard for your entire global list, or you can risk systemic liability for hidden European readers you failed to accurately geolocate. Trying to surgically isolate EU users is an operational impossibility. In practice, the law destroys the viability of individualized tracking globally. Creators publishing natively on rented channels like Substack or LinkedIn often assume the platform's terms of service protect them. That protection vanishes the moment you export native contacts. By syncing that list, you instantly become the legally responsible data controller. To remain compliant, email delivery consent must be explicitly decoupled from tracking consent. You need a dedicated checkbox focused on behavioral measurement. The strictest rule in this new framework treats user silence as a refusal. If you send an explicit consent request and a reader ignores it, you legally cannot track them. Moving forward, you cannot assume you have permission. Every tracked action in an inbox requires a deliberate, documented, and proactive yes from the user. This chart represents the individual open rate data we have tracked for over a decade. Its removal is shattering the way we judge campaign success, forcing a pivot in marketing operations worldwide. Marketers must pivot from measuring invisible, passive surveillance to measuring explicit, active human intent. Direct replies are the new gold standard. A written reply requires zero tracking infrastructure and demonstrates the highest possible level of user engagement. For compliant click measurement, you drop the individualized inbox redirect links. Instead, measure aggregate site arrivals and check conversions using campaign-level parameters on your own web properties. The metrics surviving this regulatory blackout are ultimately the exact same metrics that have always been closest to actual revenue and true audience health. When the GDPR rolled out in 2018, the teams that adapted to the regulations early spent the following years with cleaner lists and vastly superior deliverability. Marketers who navigate these rules early will quickly inherit the valuable audience channels left behind by competitors whose tracking systems fail to adapt. The immediate step is to run a 30-minute operational audit on your email stack. Map exactly where every pixel fires and every automation triggers before the 2026 deadline hits. Growth in the privacy era belongs to those who build systems to earn their signals through user trust, rather than stealing them in the shadows.